Perhaps the most significant anomaly within recent T1 Siege is EU's defensive win rate on Hookah Billiards. At 85%, Hookah Billiards in EUL has the highest win rate of any bomb site across the top 4 leagues. Not only is this significant because Coastline is considered one of the more balanced maps, but also because the region with the second highest win rate on this site, NAL, boasts a defensive win rate of only 47%, a shocking 38% lower than EU's. Naturally, this massive deviation sparked my interest in investigating why exactly this is the case. What exactly are teams in EUL doing that makes them 38% more successful than NA and 52% more successful than both Brazil and APAC when defending Hookah Billiards? Though they had a rather lackluster season, Team Empire proved to be the most successful team in defending Hookah Billiards, picking the site 6 times and only losing it once. Their approach towards the bomb site is rather unique, but ultimately exemplifies the strengths of defending on Coastline. To make the idea behind the defense a bit more recognizable and digestible, I'll compare Empire's defenses with 4 other defenses by TSM, Sonics, and Oxygen, 3 teams which are rightfully considered some of the strongest in NA, but really struggled on their Hookah Billiards defenses, winning a grand total of 0 out of the 4 times that they played it. What immediately stuck out to me when watching NA teams was the lack of both what I'll call a connected roam or any roam at all. Looking at Oxygen in this clip, you can see how compressed the defense is. With just under 2 minutes to play, Oxygen have conceded almost the entirety of the map except the bomb site itself. What this leads to is a situation where the attackers have plenty of time to simply drone out every exterior defender and isolate them, leaving the remaining defenders on site fish in a barrel. In their next defense, I guess Oxygen tried to make up for this by using a clash to assert some sort of pressure on attackers beneath, but still, the lack of any real presence below allowed for Buck to open up the necessary holes, which led to the death of the crucially pivotal smoke player. While it seemed initially that Sonics at least had the right idea, bringing a pulse to play below, in this round he ended up in VIP, which again led the defense to be incredibly compressed. This allowed the attackers to essentially flood site without the threat of vertical play. By the time Pulse actually got underneath the action, it was already too late. Though TSM had perhaps the best approach to the site, having Valkyrie and Vigil roam beneath with a threat of late flanks and C4 kills, after an early kill onto Valk and a rather lackluster, quickly conceded roam, the round again ended with the on-site defender simply being moved by vertical play and overpowered by the remaining attackers. Now, let's take a quick look again at the defensive structure of Oxygen in this screenshot, and compare it with Team Empire. The difference should be immediately apparent. Team Empire commit much more heavily to not only a roam, but a vertical roam. The beauty of this specifically is that it takes advantage of Coastline's most significant trait, which is its size. Since the map is so small, it allows for a strong, connected roam to be very strong, and a weak roam to be very weak. The reason for this is that a well-coordinated attack has so many angles to shut down a single roamer, whereas with a strong connected roam, the defense is able to pretty much immediately support any player who needs it. To emphasize this, let's look at a blueprint. This is pretty much exactly how Empire set up their defense, with the occasional fluctuation in operator choice. In these positions, the roaming defenders not only control almost the entirety of the map, but are also able to immediately support one another. Vigil can quickly help out Pulse if need be. He can also quickly help Mozzie, and vice versa. Lastly, Pulse can very quickly help out Jaeger and Library if he needs it. The reason that a vertical extension specifically is so strong is that it applies a tremendous amount of pressure to attackers trying to enter site or set up for an execute. The attackers need to clear beneath or they will be punished by runouts, window peeks, and C4s. This can take a significant amount of time, which points to the strongest point of this defense, which is actually the smoke above in pink bar. This position is incredibly strong since it allows for smoke to smoke off long, hookah entrance, and default plant from a very safe position. The only way to properly dislodge this smoke without actually committing to site itself is to open vertical holes beneath in blue bar. This roam makes that incredibly difficult, but when the attackers do end up getting this control, it's generally already too late. Once the smoke gets the call that the library player was killed, he should immediately retreat to hookah while someone beneath rotates up to support him. As long as the smoke is alive, the round is extremely winnable due to the obvious strength of his smoke canisters, but also his shotgun SMG combo, which proves to be super effective here since the site is rather small. With additional support from other players, attackers simply have too much to deal with late round and end up simply having to risk it and run into sight, which rarely works out. The only time that Empire lost this bomb site was when Chaos was able to net an early kill onto Smoke. That, combined with a really fast and effective roam clear, one which overwhelmed the defenders and forced them to play disconnected from one another, made this hold falter. But while this defense, along with any other defense, is exploitable, Empire's take to this site was one of the most unique and certainly the most effective of all the rounds that I watched in researching for this video. Thank you all for watching and for your incredible support in general. Somehow, after only 3 videos, I'm almost at 2K subscribers, which is absolutely crazy, and I couldn't have asked for a better start to this channel. Again, I appreciate your current and hopefully continued support, and look forward to making more content for you guys in the near future. To have a bit more influence and insight over my content, be sure to follow my socials, which are in the description and on screen now.